What's that?
Abby won't be back on Monday.
Tuesday, actually. Tuesday. All right, right on top of this, radical expressions. That's not good. Radical expressions. And it is multiplying them. This really is not too terribly hard. You just have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, that you can multiply. If you have the square root of 8 and you multiply it by, apparently we don't have to put a sign between them. You just do this, you can do this. You can, even though you can't add these two together, well, actually you could simplify it. You are allowed to just simply multiply radicals together. Square root of 8 times the square root of 2 is square root of 16, which in fact is 4. That's not so bad, is it? Must get harder than that. What it does. Let's do a different one. How about this? 6 times the square root of 3 squared. Oh wait, this is supposed to be in parentheses. Anybody speculate as to the answer to that? You could try to do this in your head, Brody, but I highly recommend not doing it. What does this mean? We should fear and love God so that we do not. This means this times this times this times this. How do I multiply that together? Well, when you see this, children, you multiply the number parts together. 6 times 6 is, in fact, 36. And you multiply the radicals together. 3 times 3 is the square root of 9. And then you'd have to look and see if you can simplify that, which I hope you can see you can. What is yon fair square root of 9?
Yon fair 3.
3, and then that becomes a normal 3 that gets multiplied by the normal 36, which would give you 108. Wait, why would you have to be a marketer if you're just going to farm? You need to market your farm?
For grain marketing.
Huh.
Because like they have a whole bunch of different ways where if you like, you can like sell your corn but still have it and like buy it back.
That's the best part about farming is you can sell somebody pays you for it, but you get to keep it. That doesn't make sense.
No, but you can buy it back. It's like a.
This sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
No, it's not a scheme. It did not work out. I'm trying to think of what they call it, but it did not work out.
Well, you can always buy it back because
yeah, but if you buy it back, you have to add that on to what you sold it for. So if you sold it for $4.50 and you bought it back for $2.30,
you'd have to give them 6 whatever.
No, you just lost that money.
Well, yeah, but if you sold it for whatever and bought it back cheaper, you just made money.
Yeah, but why would you buy it back if the market goes up? It's going to go higher.
Well, but if the market goes down, you could buy it speculating that it's going to go up after you buy it. All right, back to this. Before Aiden and I
it's all gambling.
It is.
Farming is gambling.
Well, it is, but it's at least a solid gamble. At least if you lose, you can always eat your own grain. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is where probably things would get confusing for you. What do we call this, Charles? We did, thank you. Woof. This is a binomial times a binomial, so you have to use FOIL. Now, the odds are, well, actually in this case you wouldn't have to use FOIL. Can somebody say why I wouldn't really need to use FOIL here? Sometimes we look at things and we don't see the completely obvious thing here. Can somebody see the obvious thing before I go into FOIL?
They both actually, the first problem is 7.
Yeah. Before you go crazy on this, I'm going to do this 2 different ways. Aiden saw it. There is a square root of 9. So you could have changed this to 3, and 4 plus 3 is 7. And then you could have done 7 times 2 minus the square root of 6 and did the distributive property, which is 14 minus 7 square roots of 6. Okay. You could have done that, but oops, as I looked at it, I don't know why again they would do that. But here, let's do it FOIL-wise because Charles said let's do FOIL. If I do the 2 first terms, what do I get? What is 4 times 2? This is 8. The outside terms would be this 4 times that 6, which is a negative, thank you, Charlie, 4 times the square root of 6. The inside term is 2 times the square root of 9. And the last term is the square root of 9 times the square root of 6, which is the square root of 54. And the only problem with that is, ladies and gentlemen, there's a whole lot of simplifying that could be done. And if most of it comes right here. What is 2 times the square root of 9? Well, the square root of 9 is 3, right? So was that you, River, that said 6? Look at that, kids. Don't let River fool you. He's going to be a realtor. Did you chuckle? Was that you running that chuckle? Was that just you lost your breath? That's usually Kate's job. How do I simplify the square root of 54, ladies and gentlemen? Again, I kind of have to undo what I already did here. The square root of 54 is the square root of 9 times the square root of 6. And the square root of 9 is 3. So you get 3 times the square root of 6. Yeah, I don't know why I would go through all this when I could have done it the other way. And then what happens? You add your like terms. 8 plus 6 is 14. If I have negative 4 square roots of 6 and a negative 3 square roots of 6, that's negative 7. And look, I got the same answer. Only it was just a whole lot more. Did we just stop right there for now? I think so. I'm stopping the recording. I don't know if we'll pick this up. We might just pick this up again on Monday.
One day.